Welcome Taurus Mercury to your 777 reading. I'm going to get started straight away while I'll give you the disclaimers very quickly. So keeping in mind that this is a general reading, it doesn't take into consideration your personal circumstances. So you just take what resonates with you and you leave the rest behind. What I'm doing right now is pulling 3 cards from the archetype deck. This is just so I can get an understanding of the energy that is setting the scene, basically. It's like the foundation of your energy. And then we're going to pull 4 cards from a tarot deck to look at the energy that's in and around you. And then 2 cards from another tarot deck to look at the energy coming towards you. And then we're going to finish up with 3 cards from the shaman deck with regards to the guidance. So I've already got the 3 cards. Let's have a look. So we have the healer, the inner child, and the castle. So the healer is quite a simple archetype to understand. We're talking about healing. And perhaps this has got to do with regards to the inner child. So perhaps maybe you've been taking life a little bit too seriously, or you felt like life has gotten too serious, of course, with everything that has happened in the last couple of years. But I guess this is about honouring the inner child. And we have the castle. Now, the castle's an interesting archetype because it talks about your home, your castle, your house. And it can be a positive one, but it can also be a negative one. It can be an archetype suggesting that perhaps you've been too much in the home, which I guess makes sense with a lot of the lockdowns that have happened. Perhaps you're spending too much time in the home and it's time to heal that inner child about getting back out there. That's what I'm getting from these 3 cards so far. So let's look at the energy that's in and around you. Okay, perfect. We've got the 4 cards. 1 dropped here. All right. Interesting. We got 2 8s on the ground here. We have the 8 of cups, and we also have the 8 of swords. This might be better in this light, isn't it? So the 8 of Cups represents walking away from something that's no longer emotionally fulfilling. So you've come as far as you can in this situation, and perhaps there's no more emotional fulfillment in this situation. So you're leaving that behind. And the 8 of Swords suggests about imposed self-restrictions. So I guess this is kind of really working well with the foundation of your energy. These are a really good healing card. Sometimes we have to walk away from something that is no longer emotionally fulfilling and getting out of our mind. So the swords represents the mind. So self-imposed restriction, and in the traditional tarot deck, you've got this lady who is sort of bounded and blindfolded, and she's got these swords all around her. And so in the mind, you might be limiting yourself with your beliefs. So perhaps maybe this is in regards to the home. So something that you're feeling stuck, but you're taking the right steps by walking away from anything that's keeping you, I guess, perceived in a captive way. On the positive side, we have the Queen of Pentacles. This is the card to have a friend is to be a friend, I feel. This is someone who's very generous, someone who is very secure within themselves. And positively, we've also got the 10 of Pentacles. So I guess maybe with this castle thing, it's maybe I shouldn't be looking this in a negative way, because perhaps this could be buying a home, securing yourself, maybe healing the inner child by finding a home or a place or a castle where you feel like a castle, where you're getting fulfillment, because the Ten of Pentacles represents security in the home, and the Queen of Pentacles is someone who is secure within themselves as well. I also said, to have a friend is to be a friend, and that's also represented, being generous to others you're going to receive that generosity back as well. So this is turning out to be quite positive. Let's look at the energy that's coming towards you. Whoa. Two swords have flown. The Nine of Swords came out. Two cards flew out. Let's have a look. Okay. All right. So remember how we had the Eight of Swords, and I said that's about self-imposed restrictions. We do also have the Nine of Swords. So it seems like there's a situation here. This represents about anxiety, sleepless nights. So just be mindful of that type of energy that's, going from the 8 to the 9. And then we also have the Two of Pentacles. So the Two of Pentacles represents maybe you've got a lot on your plate at the moment. You're juggling too much, and there's going to be a situation here where you're going to have to drop one thing and focus on the other, which works well with this eight of Cups. So with the Eight of Cups, remember that's the energy of walking away from something that's no longer fulfilling. So perhaps reflect on everything that you've got going on at the moment, and maybe dropping something that is no longer emotionally fulfilling. Maybe you've worked on something so much, whether that's a relationship, whether that's a project, maybe that's when we're going back to this archetype of being in the castle. Maybe you're living in a situation that you feel like is no longer fulfilling, and you feel like maybe it's time for a change. Interesting. This reading is harder to decipher than the other readings I've had. So I keep coming back to this eternal child. This keeps standing out to me for some reason. So the eternal child is really acknowledging the inner child, and maybe there's some healing. And then the castle from a home. Let's see what the shaman says, and maybe this will piece it all together for us. The drifter, experiencing life as it comes. Just waiting for two more cards to come out. Okay, here we go. Interesting. We have, this is the one I said that's interesting. It's the heart home, compassion, which I feel like is very much about, the castle, but also finding home within yourself as well. Then we have the card 24, the galactic mushroom, the divine matrix. And then we have the drifter, experiencing life as it comes. So let's have a look at all these cards together. We'll go over it again. I just want to take a moment, if that's all right, just to piece this together and just get some downloads and see what Okay, I get it. So the healer, this could be you, or you receiving healing, which have matters to do with your inner child and feeling safe at home. feeling okay at home. In order to do that, looking at self-imposed restrictions and walking away from something that's not emotionally fulfilling for you. Because there is fulfillment in the home, and there is also, even though there are some self-imposed restrictions, there is security in this home. Perhaps you feel like you're overstressed because we've got anxiety, we've got self-imposed restrictions because there's too much on your plate. You're juggling too much, and something needs to. Sorry, I forgot that I put the cards there. I just wanted to bring that into light for you because there's not much light. That's probably better. You're juggling too much, which is giving anxiety. But there is security in the home. There is financial abundance on its way. Trust in the divine matrix. Trust in the spiritual realm to bring you something that will come into fruition in our realm here. And just experience life as it comes. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, see in this picture here, you've got the cards on the side there as well. There's a ship there that's going down a river, and there's a lot of walls, and it feels like there's a lot of barriers around you, but there is a pathway to take. And then the heart home, finding compassion in this journey that you're taking as well. So I hope something resonated for you in this reading for you, Taurus Mercury. You have been read, and wish you all the best, and take care.